All right. All right, we're getting started. This is the start of where we get. Oh boy. Oh boy. I don't know what I'm getting into. I'm I guess I'm hooked on content nukes. I can't get enough of them. And it's kind of like the creator version of a diss track. Right? This is the YouTuber's diss track. Now, I wasted 12 hours of my life across 3 days um, being very disappointed, horrified, bored, and enraged by Ethan Klein's quote unquote nuke to Hassan Piker. And we all know what I think of that content nuke. It was pure, unadulterated, wet, sloppy dog shit. That's what it was. That's just the way it was. That's the way it was. And I am not satisfied. I want a good nuke. I want to build a case. I want to see someone build a case, right? So I'm going to expand on this kind of general idea I've had, which is a sort of way that we can approach these big, messy, sloppy fucking arguments where we're going to take notes in a particular way. And the way is like this. We'll say, for example, someone makes a claim. We're going to picture that claim as a giant structure that must be supported, right? And then when we have supporting arguments, we'll be able to take those supporting arguments and rest them comfortably underneath our big claim, right? And as we hear these claims, we can sort of take our time to decide, how strong is this claim? Is it going to fit under here? Now, it doesn't matter physically the size of the words. We're going to play around with that a little bit. So one problem right now is I don't have chat. I cannot see chat. It is, I'm getting the monkey, something went wrong video thing. So is there any possible way to even see if anyone would even be here to chat? I don't think anyone's here. Which, by the way, if you're not here right now, congratulations. If you are here, run. Run away. Because this is going to be boring. It's going to be slow. It's going to be tedious. It's going to take me entirely too long to watch something that is already pretty long. All right? But that's because I want to pick through the bullshit. I want to find the meat of the issues. Right? And we're going to be careful. We're going to go back. We're going to listen again and see if there's something sneaky going on. Now, this one's going to be a little different. Last time with Ethan and Hassan, I stated up front that while I'm not a big fan of either of them, I dislike Ethan, and I think Hassan's okay. He's got good politics. That's basically my only thing in common with Hassan. So I had a clear bias against Ethan, but I was definitely ready to hear the dirt, the juice, the tea about Hassan, and unfortunately there was nothing. By the way, spoiler alert, the big reveal is that Hassan Piker is a socialist. And for some reason, Ethan, like, couldn't fucking ever understand what that meant. So he just was like, I thought he was a Democrat. And then as soon as it kind of dawned on him that he's not a Democrat and he never was, he's like, he tricked me. He tricked me into thinking he was a Democrat. So, yeah, that's the kind of... Hassan Piker is anti-capitalist. That was the big reveal. This time, we've got Ryan Beard doing a takedown of Destiny, also known as, like, Steven something. I don't know his name. Good old Steven. So here's my biases about that. I don't like Destiny at all. I think he's got shitty politics and a shitty personality. The only time I ever, like, kind of was like, oh, okay, go Destiny, is when he's, like, on a debate stage making Owen Schroyer look like an idiot or something. Like, in that little tiny moment, I was like, well, yeah, I absolutely hate Owen Schroyer more. So, you know, it's like watching two people just kind of that you hate. Whoever wins, we lose. But whoever loses, we win. Right? You got to think of it from both sides. But enemies of enemies are not friends. So we have to remember that going in. Enemies of enemies are not friends. So next time, if you're tempted to see people protesting against Israel, if you're tempted to say they're protesting for Hamas, you have to remember that enemies of enemies are not friends. Against Israel. You could be against Israel, but doesn't mean you're pro-Hamas. All right? That's just one of them things. All right, I got a chat. We can have it. Oops, we can look at it. And I'm going to put it up on the board here so we can all see it. There's the chat. Okay. I should put it down here. I need to make sure that I could, like, it's in my peripheral so I don't miss when people are talking to me. If anyone's talking to me. And I highly recommend that you do not spend any time watching this stream. All right? I've warned you. And if you start watching and then you halfway through you decide you change your mind, nope. Sorry, you got to watch the whole thing. I have a special app or extension that once you connect, I can virtually control your router and force it to stay connected. And I disable all the X close buttons on your Windows. All right? So get with it. Let's put a little background color. Not that. Let's go a little more violet, a little less saturated. Is that okay? Maybe we should go for the red spectrum. Kind of a peachy color. Yeah, we're gonna see this content. I don't know. I've seen Ryan Beard's here and there over the years. He's got 669,000 subscribers. Destiny, I'm sure, like, is a way huger person than this in terms of popularity. I don't know, how long has Ryan Beard been doing the YouTube game? Here's one way I could try. He's got 35 videos. Oldest 6 years ago. Me and my body pillow. White ass P word. The most insane apology video. This woman's gonna kill her baby. Uh-oh. TikTok's creepiest pickup artist. All right. So it looks like, I mean, this guy deals with drama stuff and calling out people. This looks like he's going to be a lot more competent at making a content nuke. There's something about all these thumbnails makes me think he's already kind of done this sort of thing. And is this his longest video? This is an hour and a half. His other videos are coming in at a half hour. This is an hour almost, 50 minutes. Both sides of the fat phobia debate need to stop. Oh boy, is he an enlightened centrist? Both sides of the fat phobia debate need to stop. Who? Why? Why does one side need to stop? How about the side that's wrong needs to stop? All right. Well, I don't know. Here's the thing. We're going to try to take this. We're going to keep it on the wax. All right. And that means that anything that appears in the video as presented as argumentation or evidence is fair game. We're going to try not to let it spill outside of the video. Right. I'm not going to judge this video based on like other videos Ryan made. So if he's got shitty takes, if he's full of shit, I think it'll come out in the work and we'll be able to glean from it that way. But I don't know, if you know shit about Ryan Beard, you want to come in and say shit, let me know. If you're a Destiny fan or something, and you have more context, let me know. But I don't like this guy. I'm interested to see how this nuke goes, and if they can build a compelling case to where I can point to and say, that's why I don't like this guy. It's because I don't like people who do this. And then we'll see. All right. Without any further ado, here is the content nuke. How's my volume? Can you see everything, hear everything?
I don't wish to bring anybody any more harassment than they've already received, but you have to understand that at this point, I'm kind of being pushed into playing my entire hand. There will be no vague allegations today. There will be no mentions of nukes, only mushroom clouds. I went with the title, Kethels, a Case Study on Internet Terrorism and Mass Media Manipulation. This is going to be a cataloging of the past year, demonstration of what happens when communities fail to hold their own members responsible, and what comes of the belief that there are no bad tactics, only bad targets. This is going to be a careful documentation of lies. I'm not running around screen sharing people's nudes. I'm not having secret recording to be in my apartment. Bro, I'll talk about anything all the time ever. Are we serious?
So then the question stands, did you Lauren Southern?
Scams. Every single person on the internet that is pushing NFTs is just trying to find a bigger sucker. You can basically buy and sell, or you can buy and sell like Twitch clips, and you get an NFT that you can get autographed by the streamer. And you know what? If you buy it, I can go right up here and click autograph, and I can sign whatever NFT you want me to sign. Okay? Threats, bullying, doxing. I literally just doxed that girl, the one that tried to throw egg on
me. Off the bat, it's a strong opening. It's a strong opening because these clips, I mean, some of them might be out of context, and that's certainly the case. But there's a lot less wiggle room in a lot of these, right? Because like we're seeing just a direct absolute statement.
Autograph by sucker. Every single person on the internet that is pushing NFTs is just trying to find a bigger sucker.
Every single person on the internet that's selling NFTs is just trying to find a bigger sucker, right? Like when we had out of context clips from Hassan, the one reason I kept getting frustrated is because it would cut to a clip of him and he'd be like, "They're not sorry," or "Those people never did da da da," and those people can lie. It's who are those people, right? Here we have the clip of him saying, "Everyone on the internet who sells other NFTs," right? If Ethan Klein made this, he would just say, "They're trying to find a bigger sucker," and then he would like write on top, he's talking about NFTs. Like, it just doesn't quite do it for me. So far a strong opening. Like I said, I already hate this guy, and I can kind of see yourself like, okay, if this is a real tweet of his, he's saying some crazy shit, and it's like, wow, what a fucking edgelord. I think, isn't his story that he used to be like a anti-SJW and then just sort of like grifted left because he's like super good at winning arguments. And so usually if you just take the left-wing position and like hold it down for a little bit, you're going to win a lot more like debates and shit. Because he's only debating like fuck off right-wingers, right? He's debating like MAGA fucks. And it's like, yeah, okay, you won the argument there. That's because they weren't making arguments. They were just foaming at the mouth. All right, so I don't know, man. That's a troubling tweet. And this is the kind of shit that I was expecting when, we're looking at all this supposed evidence that this person is a terrorist and a terrible person. Never saw us tweet nearly this harsh from any of those so-called horrible people who are terrorists.
Targets. There's going to be a careful documentation of lies. I'm not running around screen sharing people's nudes. I'm not having secret recording of me in my apartment. Bro, I'll talk about anything all the time ever. Are we serious?
So then the question stands.
I don't know what the context is that. Bro, I'll talk about anything all the time ever. Bro, I'll talk about anything all the time ever. What is he squealing about?
That there are no bad tactics, only bad targets. There's going to be a careful documentation of lies. I'm not running around screen sharing people's nudes. I'm not having secret recording of me in my apartment. Bro, I'll talk about anything all the time ever.
All the time ever. I'll talk about anything all the time ever. Are we serious?
Are we serious?
So then the question stands, did you Lauren Southern?
Scams. Every single person on the internet that is pushing NFTs is just trying to find a bigger sucker. You can basically buy and sell, or you can buy and sell like Twitch clips, and you can NFT that you can get autographed by the streamer. And you know what? If you buy it, I can go right up here and autograph, and I can sign whatever NFT you want me to sign. Okay? Threats, bullying, doxing. I literally just doxed that girl, the one that tried to throw egg on me like a week or two ago. I don't give a fuck about like doxing. And an utter lack of accountability.
Molina recently confirmed that the sex tapes leaked.
Another thing that's strong about this is he's only using Destiny's words. We haven't heard Ryan Beard. All we're hearing is Destiny reading apparently something where he's condemning all of these terrible practices, and then he's cutting in Destiny doing or saying those things. That's great. Like, he's pointing out the hypocrisy pretty clean.
Cataloging past year demonstration of what happens when communities
this.
I'll talk about anything all the time ever. Are we?
I mean, it's so much better than being like, this is Destiny, and he's a real piece of shit, and I really hate this guy. Watch, see what he did here. And then we just get a clip of him saying, they'll da-da-da-da-da. Yeah. This is quality so far. I'm having fun.
Are you serious?
So then the question stands, did you Lauren Southern?
I I love the drop. The drop gets me all hyped up. The music choice was fantastic. I love it.
Every single person on the internet that is pushing NFTs is just trying to find a bigger sucker. You can basically buy and sell, or you can buy and sell like Twitch clips, and you get an NFT that you can get autographed by the streamer. And you know what? If you buy it, I can go right up here and click autograph, and I can sign whatever NFT you want me to sign. Okay? Threats, bullying, doxing. I literally just doxed that girl, the one that tried to throw egg on me like a week or two ago. I don't give a fuck about like doxing. And an utter lack of accountability.
Molina recently confirmed that the sex tapes leaked by Destiny's former
Jesus Christ.
girls were shared by Destiny without her
Nice,
consent.
good one, nice.
If she has no legal recourse.
I got a whole bunch of super chats for you. Wait, ready?
Okay.
Over the years, I've worried about the types of tactics endorsed by progressive communities. The uncomfortable distorting of narratives. Honestly, I'm pro-genocide. It sounds really shitty, but I think that Israel should just draw its borders about where it is now, and basically Palestinians can go live in another place. That's really shitty, but that's about where I'm at. The grotesque shape-shifting of facts. Let's say there's a person that's 30 years old and tries to randomly sext 14-year-olds and 15-year-olds. I don't think that would be considered grooming. The general inability to hold themselves to a decent standard of behavioral conduct. The rioting needs to stop. And if that means white redneck militia dudes out there mowing down dipshit protesters that think that they can torch buildings at 10 p.m., then at this point they have my blessing. Because holy shit, it is the tale of an internet bully given far too much power. Do you guys know that if a bitch breaks up with you and you send your nudes to everybody, even that's wrong, guys? On a mission to seek fame and fortune.
So what's that look like revenue-wise? I think last time you said it was $50K a month.
It's probably a little bit higher than that now. Yeah. By pro-genocide. I got the streamer. You know what? If you buy it, I can go right up here and click autograph, and I can sign whatever NFT you want me to sign. Okay? Threats, bullying, doxing. I literally just doxed that girl, the one that tried to throw egg on me like a week or two ago. I don't give a fuck about doxing. And an utter lack of accountability.
Molina recently confirmed that the sex tapes leaked by Destiny's former
Jesus Christ.
girls were shared by Destiny without her consent.
Good one, nice.
If she has no legal recourse.
I got a whole bunch of super chats for you. Wait, ready?
Okay.
Over the years, I've worried about the types of tactics endorsed by progressive communities. The uncomfortable distorting of narratives. Honestly, I'm pro-genocide. It sounds really shitty, but I think that Israel should just draw its borders about where it is now, and basically Palestinians can go live in another place. That's really shitty, but that's about where I'm at. The grotesque shape-shifting of facts. Let's say there's a person that's 30 years old and tries to randomly sext 14-year-olds and 15-year-olds. I don't think that would be considered grooming. The general inability to hold themselves to a decent standard of behavioral conduct. The rioting needs to stop. And if that means white redneck militia dudes out there mowing down dipshit protesters.
Why does this dude hate protesters so ferociously? But then, honestly, I'm pro-genocide. I just don't give a fuck anymore. What is it about seeing BLM protesters that makes you fucking so fucking pissed? Where is this passion when a whole fuckload of innocent people are getting driven out of their homes and killed or maimed or stolen from to the point where they have nothing? Or a couple businesses got broken windows and some traffic got delayed. That makes you go full fucking foamed diapers. This guy is not okay. I mean, I don't know. That's just the strangest, impulsive, I think he clearly, something about BLM touches a very, very personal nerve for him. And I'm not talking about the Bureau of Land Management. I'm talking about Black Lives Matter. I think I'm right, but him saying these protesters need to fucking stop was during the George Floyd riots. What the fuck is a riot? It gets a little rowdy. Police instigate riots. Police get into manifests and groups of people, demonstrators, protesters, right? And they agitate. And they get it into quote-unquote riot. These are some of those slippery words, these empty words, right? Now, it's not quite as empty as others, but riot, these are words that color the value of what I shouldn't say color value. That makes me think of brightness and darkness, but there are words that have connotations, and there's a reason why one chooses one connotation and not another, right? These are things you have to really take a look at when you're hearing, let's say, news broadcasts, right? Because, for example, you might hear demonstration, you might hear riot. And those are going to completely color how we're meant to think of the people who are participating in it. Was it a march? Was it a walk? And not even just the nouns, a march, a walk, a riot, even as verbs. He marched right in here and told us that he thinks he deserves more. He marched in here, looked me in my eye, and said blah, 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 blah. He walked in here. He came here, right? These words color like our perception of the subject that's getting applied to. Are you protesting? Well, at some point it's a riot. And some will say it's a riot as soon as it's loud enough. A lot of noise. If everyone's hooting and hollering, going buck wild, then now it's a riot. And that's when we have to bring the hammer down. That's when the police have to start pushing and shoving. Start shooting and squirting. Get that fucking fire hose out. Right? Get your riot gear. Start like slapping the fucking stick against the shield and start coming at them. Right? So it was just a loud thing. Now it's a loud thing with people in a very one-sided, violent confrontation. Right? It's funny that they call that shit that they shoot at protesters, like, the fucking tear gas or the beanbag guns, right? The smoke canisters. They're called non-lethal weapons. I think many call them less lethals now, which kind of takes away the point I'm making, which is calling them non-lethal implies that they can't kill anybody. which is not true. But say for the sake of argument, they called them non-lethal and they weren't lethal. And this is maybe why it's been changed this is maybe why they might want to call them less lethals now, just to keep everything consistent. Is because if they fired a tear gas can into the crowd and one of those kids just like soccer kicked it, returned the canister back, and it hits the feet of the officers of the police, that student can be charged for assault with a deadly weapon. Assault with a deadly weapon. So if your weapon is less lethal, okay, I guess it's deadly, technically. It's technically a deadly weapon. Because it's a less lethal. Less lethal. Isn't that a weird? Lethal doesn't seem like a gradable adjective, you know? You know? What's a gradable adjective? Some adjectives are gradable a lot. We grade them as in we apply like these various values. Gradable adjectives. So a good example would maybe be like hot, right? Something can be a little hot or very hot, a bit hot, quite hot, right? Oh, a little hotter than that, please, right? Ooh, not so hot, please. These are all different grades of the adjective hot, right? Just a little hot, less hot, right? Or a bit more. We understand gradable adjectives. There are some adjectives, though, that kind of they don't really work as gradable, right? If you're like, it's either this or that, right? It's not more this or less that. What's an example of some non-gradable adjectives? Something that's considered kind of absolute. Well, okay, how about silent, right? Silent means no sound. So it doesn't make sense to say something's, well, a little silent or very silent. A little bit silent. Quite a bit silent. Doesn't make sense. You could say almost silent, but not very silent, right? When we grade that adjective, it kind of just sounds weird, or we're stuck thinking, well, what would that mean to be more silent than silent? Because if I could somehow become more silent, then it means I wasn't silent before, you know? And so we're stuck in this mental paradox. What does it mean to be more or less silent? It's very easy, though, to understand more or less quiet, right? Quiet is a gradable adjective. You could be very quiet or just a little bit more quiet. Something can be more quiet than another thing. So, typically, dead is another one of those adjectives that is considered to be non-gradable. I should write that above here. Non-gradable. So these non-gradable adjectives. Now, here's the thing, though. This is school book shit. This is English teacher 101 bullshit. Is teaching the difference between gradables and non-gradables. The fact is that in English, as she has spoke, we grade non-gradable adjectives all the time. It takes on a different meaning, right? You just use your logic and you say, well, if I grade it's non-gradable, just figure out what do you think that means, right? So if I say be more silent, well, I mean, whatever you are right now, you're not silent enough. You're not silent at all. In fact, you are indeed making some breathing noises, right? So say I tell you to be silent, and you just tapped your foot and cleared your throat. You could say, I'm being silent. I'm saying no words. Their silence is deafening. I can accuse someone of being silent if all they're doing is clearing their throat, tapping their foot, and humming. I'll say, why are you silent on this issue? Right? So there's different maybe degrees of silence. If I say be silent and I start humming and tapping my foot, you'll say, no, more silent. Not a good way to communicate, but if someone did choose to say it that way, I think I'd get the hint that they want you to be more quiet, right? They want you to move further towards the ideal of silence. I would argue that true silence, whatever it is more of a platonic ideal and something that actually could never be obtained in the real world. We can depict it, we can imagine it, we could talk about it, we could crave it sometimes. We want it. But it's not actually possible because there's no such thing as no sound. Trees in the forest are falling whether or not anyone's around to hear them. Obviously. So, people grade non-gradables. We do it all the time. And so what they've done is they've graded the ungradable, and they've graded lethal. Lethal. You could be a little bit lethal or a lot lethal. Less lethal, more lethal. I mean, it kills you, or it doesn't. But we all know what it means, man. It means that this thing is going to maim you, and it could kill you if you're not lucky. If you've got anything else going on wrong with you, or if you don't get the medical attention quickly enough, they've been known to succumb to the injuries. Okay, so less lethal, it sounds like doublespeak, and it is. Sounds like little wormy worm language, but everyone knows what you mean when you say it. They mean the non-lethal one that only kills old people. They might believe that. I don't know. They might. How different people look at risk, but yeah, we can say less lethal means it's another way of saying risks death, but is not designed necessarily to make someone die when used properly. So all it means is that if you're murdered at the hand of a less lethal, whoever was holding that weapon has a very, very good defense for how they didn't mean for you to die from that. Didn't mean it. I was using a less lethal weapon. I clearly did not intend to kill them because I knew this would do that less. Oh boy, let's get back to Destiny. I'm supposed to be watching a content nuke about Destiny, and we're talking about protesting. Okay, so he's got some weird shit, and I'm trying to keep a list here of kind of the big picture topics. Where does this go? How would I even say what he did there when he said what he said about the BLM protesters? Okay, how about this? Pro-genocide yet hates BLM movement / protests. That kind of encapsulates, like, this is one of the bullet points of the case against him, right? And I guess the big case is just going to be Destiny is overall trash. This guy sucks. Bad. Like when he's debating MAGA people, he's just as bad as whoever he's sitting across from. Maybe even worse. So that's the big picture case. Now, I don't know. Here's what could happen. Ryan Beard could flop, and he could make a big pile of dog shit that doesn't do the takedown that Destiny deserves. Because let's be clear, all we've seen so far while very good, very effective, very interesting, well, we have some of this is pretty much proven already. In the terms of the things that his mouth appears to be saying on camera. And if we're to believe that these videos are in fact him, yeah, I mean, we already know he's pro-genocide, I guess. But you know what? There is a small possibility that there's this like other context. There's reason to believe, just hypothetically here, that right before he said that, I think I'm pro-genocide, that he wasn't like, let's say, playing like a video game where you're like control like something, or one of those big like world controlling army video games, and like literally talking about a video game. There's a small chance that you know, hypothetically, I don't know anything. I don't think that's the case. I feel like that would have easily been explained away by other people by now. But that's an example of the kind of thing that could possibly exist out there, right? But a lot of these texts we're seeing on screen and stuff like that, there's not a lot of context. We don't have enough to like put this all together and build a case, right? We're just getting the outline of the big picture things, right? And we'll see which of these blossom into big arguments, right? As soon as we get some sort of sub arguments, I'll start attaching them to these big picture arguments, you know, and then we'll gradually see how they stand up.
To think that they can torch buildings at 10 p.m., then at this point they have my fucking blessing, because holy shit. It was the tale of an internet bully given far too much power.
Did you guys know that if a bitch breaks up with you and you send her nudes to everybody, even that's wrong, guys?
On a mission to seek fame and fortune.
So what's that look like revenue-wise? I think last time you said it was like $50K a month.
It's probably a little bit higher than that now. Yeah.
By building a career through vicious conflict.
Actually kill yourself. Yes, kill yourself.
We've allowed ourselves to gaze into the abyss for far too long. Destiny is the result.
On January 8, 2025, the streamer Destiny's ex-wife Melina accused him of sharing pornographic videos of her without her consent to a 19-year-old young woman over Discord.
Something I can't, like I'm not going to go into detail or anything, but there's plenty of people that's wondering this, but I feel like this should be obvious. Nothing has happened with consent with anyone, not me and not anyone else. Like there's been no consent.
On January 21st, 2025, one of Destiny's close friends named
Has happened
to a 19-year-old young woman accused him of
Allowed ourselves to gaze into the
We got a timeline.
On January 8,
make a lyrical
2025,
timeline.
the streamer Destiny's ex-wife Melina accused him of sharing pornographic videos of her without her consent to a 19-year-old young woman over Discord.
something I can't, like I'm not going to go into detail or anything, but there's plenty of people that's
Of sharing January 8, 2020.
Oh boy, that's just last month. That's Jan 8, 2025. So that's gonna be way over here on our timeline. All right. I don't know how far this is gonna go. We can adjust this as we go along. But it's important to keep timelines in, you know, if I wait them to remember them, and I have a hard time keeping them in my head, right? So timelines, if it's something we can, I'm just gonna have it on a different layer that I can hide and bring up as we're working on it. So what happened on this day?
25. The streamer Destiny's ex-wife Melina accused him of sharing pornographic videos.
Okay, this is when he was accused by his ex-wife. All right, let's go back.
On January 8, 2020. 2025, the streamer Destiny's ex-wife Melina accused him of sharing pornographic videos of her without her consent to a 19-year-old young woman over Discord.
Something I can't, like, I'm not gonna go into detail or anything, but there's plenty of people that's wondering this, but I feel like this should be obvious. Nothing has happened with consent with anyone, not me and not anyone else. Like there's been no consent.
On January 21st, 2025, one of Destiny's close friends named Pixie accused him of also sharing pornographic videos of her without her consent. Destiny later revealed that this 19-year-old he had sent these Destiny's close friends
No consent.
On January 21st, 2025, one of Destiny's close friends named Pixie accused him of also sharing pornographic videos of her without her consent. Destiny later revealed that this 19-year-old he had sent these pornographic videos to had allegedly been hacked, leading to these videos being leaked on the internet.
I think a friend of mine's account from
Sharing pornographic videos. One of Destiny's close
There's been no consent.
On January 21st, 2025, one of Destiny's close friends named Pixie accused him of also sharing pornographic videos of her without her consent. Destiny later revealed that this 19-year-old he had sent these pornographic videos to had allegedly been hacked, leading to these videos being leaked on the internet.
I think a friend of mine's account from that I talked to like 3 or 4 years ago ended up getting compromised, and sometimes you just gotta roll with the memes. It is what it is. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? Okay.
Later on that same day of January 21st, one of Destiny's previous close friends named Cherry not only accused Destiny of sharing a recording of them having sex without her consent, but also of recording her without her knowledge. Destiny has since admitted to sharing these sex tapes of Pixie and Melina without their consent. Cherry's allegation is still just also of request first, one of Destiny's previous close friends named Cherry not only accused Destiny of
Hey, what do you want me to say?
sometimes being leaked on graphic video of her friends named On January 21st, 2025, one of Destiny's close friends named Pixie accused him of also sharing pornographic videos of her without her consent. Destiny later revealed that this 19-year-old he had sent these pornographic videos to had allegedly been hacked, leading to these videos being leaked on the internet.
I think a friend of mine's account from that I talked to like 3 or 4 years ago ended up getting compromised, and sometimes you just gotta roll with the memes. It is what it is. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? Okay.
Later on that same day of January 21st, one of Destiny's previous close friends named Cherry not only accused Destiny of sharing a recording of them having sex without her consent, but also of recording her without her knowledge. Destiny has since admitted to sharing these sex tapes of Pixie and Melina without their consent. Cherry's allegation is still just an allegation, but she has recently filed a police report against Destiny. This is the story of Stephen Bennell II, a man given far too much power and the ways he has abused this power for his own personal gain.
All right, so these are when the accusations came in. I didn't write down like the details of what happened. I think I'm gonna fill that in later. Once I can place the action on the timeline, and we'll kind of maybe color code it. Just kind of keep everything organized. So there's a lot. And there's a lot of specifics. It's, oh boy. Doesn't look good, Destiny. Doesn't look good for you. Me Too, the guys have been Me Too'd for way less than this. Guys who were way more famous and way more likable have been Me Too'd for way less than this. All right? They kicked Al Franken out of the Senate because he took one photo where he was like mocking that he was gonna grab a woman's boobs while she was sleeping. He was like lurking over her, like, total skeezy shit. Totally gross. But that was all. Like, the kind of shit you're getting up to, dude, it should have ran you out of town. Well, I guess, this just came out. So, yeah, good. I hope we're running you out of town. But if it turns out you've been doing this shit since 2016, I'm gonna be extra mad. Cause I don't know about his fucking dark past or his personal life. Whew, let's go.
Gain. Hi, so this video has been a long time coming. I've been slowly collecting evidence about this man Destiny here for about 3 years now, and I don't know about you, but I think it's finally time to take this motherfucker down. Destiny is widely hated by a variety of communities across the internet for a variety of reasons. But no matter how hated Destiny became, he always had a strong army of sycophants that would defend him no matter what he did. However, recently, almost all of his orbiters have abandoned him. Orbiters are what he calls his friends who stream with him. Basically, the implication is that Destiny is this massive planet, and all of his friends are these little planets that orbit around him. This has created an ecosystem where most of Destiny's friends rely on Destiny's success for fame and money. And because most of these people rely on Destiny for money, they've done a remarkably good job at sweeping allegations against Destiny under the rug for years. However, these recent allegations against Destiny have been so egregious that the majority of even his most loyal orbiters have decided to leave his orbit. Now, barely anyone is still defending Destiny. One person who is still defending Destiny is Myron Gaines from Fresh and Fit, who recently decided to slut shame.
Interesting. Fresh Fit, man. Mr. Fresh and Fit pops his ugly head up into this video. He made an appearance in Ethan's content nuke. And Ethan was trying to tie him to Hassan and be like, he's like Hassan's best friend. He loves Hassan. Or Hassan loves him. Or like some shit. Like he's saying that they're like they're buddies because they're all anti-Semitic. And then he made a very stupid point of like, and then Twitch, they're such Nazis that they let him back on. They let Freshy Fit back on to have a show again. And then they banned him again after an hour. So, yeah. Anyway, Ethan also was using Destiny in his video, and he didn't feature really much about Destiny. All he said was that Destiny got kicked off of Twitch because he said the word inbred. Like that was, Ethan is very explicitly states in his nuke that was the sole cause and reason that he got kicked off of Twitch, because he was basically saying how he didn't want to talk to them, to those people, because he's afraid that they'll get him kicked off Twitch, and they're also inbred and old and stupid, and then they kicked him off Twitch just because he said inbred. So that's a lie. I don't think he was kicked off Twitch just for saying inbred. I don't know why he was kicked off Twitch. Maybe it's because some of the skeezy shit that he's about to get into now. The whole thing that he's got orbiters, they're called orbiters. Let's go back to this. We have to include this as one of the big points. Kind of the whole orbiter thing. Like, let's say like his social orbiters. That's a whole issue, because that's like that gives cult leader, you know, red flags everywhere.
Destiny's victims.
Right, God, I feel extremely violated with how
To leave his orbit. Now, barely.
So he just discolored all of that whole poster. I wanted to get a look at this poster. Do I know any single buddy from this?
more money, they've done a remarkably good job at sweeping allegations against Destiny under the rug for years. However, these recent allegations against Destiny have been so egregious that the majority of
I don't think I'd be able to recognize anybody in there. Is the completionist? Is he a Destiny orbiter? I don't think so. He's not a politic guy. Are all of these politic people? Are these all like? I don't know who any of these people are. Are they all left-wing YouTubers or Twitch streamers or? I don't know. I'm curious.
even his most loyal orbiters have decided to leave his orbit. Now, barely anyone is still defending Destiny. One person who is still defending Destiny is Myron Gaines from Fresh and Fit, who recently decided to slut-shame Destiny's victims.
I feel extremely violated with how so many people saw me not consensually in a vulnerable position. I feel like people are always going to use this as proof that I slept my way to whatever achievement I garner. I feel like it's evidence that everything would be better with me gone. Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, Prixie, but you did sleep your way to the top. You know, you gotta call a spade here.
Even though Myron is an absolutely insane anti-Semitic woman hater who stands for everything that Destiny claims to be against, Destiny says that he has more respect for Myron than for anyone else on the internet.
In all of my years, God, this feels so shitty. In all my years doing content, I have more respect for Myron than any other individual.
Apparently, the amount of respect that Destiny has for you as a person is dependent on how willing you are to suck up to him.
He is the only person that I've seen that will consistently go into areas where there's so much like laughing and jokes and fun times to be had right here if he would shit on me, but he doesn't. He won't do it.
I have some level of empathy for Destiny's orbiters because it is difficult to be stuck in a position where you financially rely on someone who is,
but he doesn't. He won't do it in areas where
you are to spend.
Feels so shitty. In all my years doing
against, Destiny says that he has more, even though Myron
better with me gone. Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, Prixie, but you did sleep your way to the top. You know, you gotta call a spade here.
Even though Myron is an absolutely insane anti-Semitic woman hater who stands for everything that Destiny claims to be against, Destiny says that he has more respect for Myron than for anyone else on the internet.
In all of my years, God, this feels so shitty. In all my years doing content, I have more respect for Myron than any other individual.
Apparently, the amount of respect that Destiny has for you as a person is dependent on how willing you are to suck up to him.
He is the only person that I've seen that will consistently go into areas where there's so much like laughing and jokes and fun times to be had right here if he would shit on me, but he doesn't. He won't do it.
I have some level of empathy for Destiny's orbiters because it is difficult to be stuck in a position where you financially rely on someone who is not a great person, but I have basically no empathy for Destiny because I believe that Destiny is a massive piece of shit, and I will hopefully demonstrate why I feel that way in this video. In this video, I will go through nearly every harmful action that Destiny has committed over the years and then allow you to come to your own conclusions on whether or not you think this is a person who deserves anyone's admiration or respect. Before we jump into Destiny's actions from across the years, I think I should take a little bit of time to dispel some possible well poisoning that Destiny or his community DGG could try to attack me with. The first accusation they might throw at me is that I'm obsessed with Destiny. This is an accusation they like to throw at anyone who criticizes Destiny. Personally, I don't think it makes me obsessed with Destiny that I've been researching him for the purpose of criticizing him. None of Destiny's fans accused me of being obsessed with Sneeko when I did a deep dive into Sneeko's harmful actions because they don't like Sneeko. But they probably will accuse me of being obsessed with Destiny because Destiny is their daddy. This is the first video I've ever made about Destiny, and it'll probably be about an hour and a half long. Compare that to the probably hundreds of hours that Destiny has spent on his stream criticizing Hassan, and I have nothing against Destiny criticizing Hassan. It would just be pretty hypocritical hypocritical to accuse me of being obsessed with Destiny for making 1 hour and a half long video about him, while Destiny has talked about Hassan for hundreds of hours. Destiny has written multiple incredibly long manifestos criticizing creators like Vosh, Keffels, and Bob7, who Destiny believes have wronged him over the years. Although I find the
I think I see why Ethan kind of wanted to ally with Destiny. Because Ethan doesn't seem to be smart enough to know that the enemy of your enemy is not your friend. He seems to think that if someone hates your enemy, then that's your friend now, and you should kind of go with them. All right. So try to organize the notes. I'm using layers. So this is just going to be notes. So I can kind of scribble these over the top of the main points. And then I'm also going to have a separate page here for accomplishes, associates, his skeezy buddies. We're going to write down who they are. We're going to write down why they suck. I think we can all agree Freshie Fit. He's sort of, you know, we will take judicial notice. I don't need a lot. He did go ahead and show a couple clips just to show us what kind of guy Freshie Fit is. I like that, you know, with these side character things. So, like, for Ethan, it was Frogan, right? When you're going to tie them together, you need a quick little background of the person who's bad. And he's, like, got a couple really good, easy clips of him being his douchey, racist self. And he picked very good clips to where as soon as you hear what he said, you're like, fuck that guy. And then he immediately cut to Destiny, just like going on and how he loves that guy because he's the only one who's been nice to him after he got accused of sharing revenge porn with women that trusted him. And Freshie Fit's the only guy on the whole internet that'll fucking be nice to him now. Oh, you fucking dumb. That's fucking that's pathetic, man. Destiny is cooked. Just that could have been the whole nuke, man. Or I don't know. That could have been a less lethal that actually just went ahead and killed him because you got him right in the eye. I mean, geez, after having 3 accusers come out about your mistreatment of women, and to be like, you know what? The only person standing up for me is like the biggest, like outwardly, publicly misogynistic dickhead on the whole internet. He's actually a really good guy. Like that, that should be like a moment of awakening. I mean, that's, I'll guarantee that's got to be painful and hard to face in and of yourself, right? But if I went and did some shit that I thought was right, and I turn around to accept the accolades of the crowd behind me cheering and clapping, and I turn around and they're all fucking racist, like white supremacists, like what in white hoods, you fucked up. Like, oh my God, oh fuck, what did I do? What did I just do? I've done something terrible. This is good. So far, so good. The nuke has been effective. He's really good at just the editing and pacing. I don't want to keep pausing it, but I do want to like say stuff, so I pause it. But it's not boring. This guy's a pretty look at this guy. He's called Ryan Beard. Where's your fucking beard, bro? You think that you can't have a beard because your name is Beard? I think it's the other way around. I think you have to have a beard. what kind of, I mean, look at, I was going to say, like, look how white he is, and I'm like 1,000 times more white, like in this image, pasty. But like, both of us would look better with beards, me and Ryan here. I can't grow a beard. It just doesn't work. It doesn't come out right. It doesn't come out at all. I just get little fluffles. Maybe it's the same with him. But I think guys like Ryan Beard with the name Beard, I guess the women in his family don't necessarily want to have beards. Maybe they do. Wouldn't it be funny if he had like a female relative who was a bearded woman? And that's like how the name Beard came. They're like, oh, the Beards, yes, they migrated from Italy. Your grandmother, great-great-grandmother, was a bearded lady in the circus. All right.
A little of manifesto, a bit cringe. I see nothing inherently wrong with Destiny writing manifestos to chronicle the bad behaviors of these creators. So, in the same way, I guess this will be my manifesto against Destiny. Logically consistent, and also criticize Destiny for making manifestos about Vosh, Keffels, and Bob.
Okay. And then I hope you also criticize me for taking detailed notes on these stupid manifestos. All right? Wait, why is he asking us to do that? If you criticize me about making manifestos, make sure you also criticize. All right? It's kind of a silly point. I don't think you needed to include this point in. Like, it's fine. Like, you're like, oh, yeah, I made a manifesto just like he did. I think the whole explaining, if you're going to criticize me about that, you better also criticize him about. Yeah, man, we get it. Snip, snip, snip. I would just cut.
Destiny himself would respond to this video. He would probably respond with something similar to this tweet that he tweeted at me a couple years ago. You're hopping into a bandwagon of people accusing me of being a rape apologist because you're still upset that I bullied you off the internet a year ago. Don't play stupid. You know exactly what you're doing. To be honest, Destiny isn't 100% wrong here. I am jumping on him, but I don't think that's an inherently...
Cut. Right there. Well, maybe do a different take where you say, this is my manifesto. And then boom. Because we already know that he's making a manifesto. Or he makes a lot of them. 849. Just cut all this out.
Against Destiny. And if you have an issue with me making this manifesto, I hope you will stay logically consistent and also criticize Destiny for making manifestos about Vosh, Keffels, and Bob 7. If I had to predict how Destiny himself would respond to this video, he would probably respond with something similar to this tweet that he tweeted at me a couple years ago. You're hopping into a bandwagon of people accusing me of being a rape apologist.
Okay. This part you probably could keep in. If you're kind of presenting something new, if you're saying like, I think I know how he would react to this video, I think that's fair.
At me a couple years ago, you're hopping into a...
So where's that?
7. If I had to predict...
At 9. So just cut out that 11 seconds of you like, I hope you would be logically consistent and also criticize him for... Just say he's making a he makes manifestos about all these people. Well, I'm making a manifesto of him. And here's how I think he's going to react to it.
How Destiny himself would respond to this video, he would probably respond with something similar to this tweet that he tweeted at me a couple years ago. You're hopping into a bandwagon of people accusing me of being a rape apologist because you're still upset that I bullied you off the internet a year ago. Don't play stupid. You know exactly what you're doing. To be honest, Destiny isn't 100% wrong here. I am jumping onto a bandwagon of people criticizing him, but I don't think that's an inherently bad thing to do. Destiny jumps onto bandwagons of people criticizing Hassan all the time. When Ethan Klein makes videos attacking Hassan, Destiny jumps onto the bandwagon. So when a bunch of people on the internet are criticizing Destiny right now for sharing women's sex tapes without their consent, hell yeah, I'm gonna jump onto the bandwagon and roast the shit out of him. With the way the internet works, criticisms against someone are more likely to stick when that person is actively engaged in a controversy.
It's not the strongest argument. Again, this is all pretty defensive of yourself. Ryan is like, oh, I mean, this is the trying to get ahead of criticism part of the video, but the criticism he's trying to get ahead of is stupid bullshit. You're just doing it for clout. You're just on the bandwagon. It's just a bandwagon. Like, let's all remember reality for a second. And remember that a bandwagon is not a real thing. It's just a metaphor. Right? If you say they're on the bandwagon, it's used in reference to an activity or a cause that is currently fashionable or popular and attracting increasing support. A wagon used to carry a band in a parade or a procession. So obviously we're not talking about a physical wagon for carrying people down the street. But what we are doing is we're talking about how people like to just do what other people are doing because it's happening and it's popular. That's where all the interesting stuff is happening, right? I might argue that there's gonna be some of that, but that if there's no substance, people are gonna just get off the bandwagon pretty quickly and be like, this wagon sucks. Let's find a different wagon. And wagons are kind of everywhere. It's in this day and age, there's so much content. There's like 10,000 streamers that you've never even heard of that are involved in some wildly interesting drama, I'm sure. And you could go dip into a new community and jump on their bandwagon. I mean, and there's bandwagons on all sides, right? Like, I could jump on the Defend Destiny bandwagon or the I Hate Destiny bandwagon. And at what point are you on the bandwagon to hate someone? And how is that different from just like, I hate that guy too? But that's the only thing we have in common. Because remember, your friend's enemy, or your enemy's enemies are not your friends. Your friend's enemies are your enemies, you could say. Otherwise, they're not very good friends, right? It gets tricky. But yeah. Ryan, you don't... now I'm thinking you don't even need any of this shit. Where you're like, let me get ahead of the haters. Let me get ahead of these haters who... And then he's like, actually, I'm not... Well, no, he didn't say actually I'm not. He's like copping to it. Yeah, I am on the bandwagon, which is like, fine. If that's the way you want to express this idea of jumping on a bandwagon, you're doing a content nuke. Just let it flow, man. I don't need this apologies. I mean, because you're not trying to be, you're not apologizing in the sense that you're, like, trying to be overly fair. You're not even being self-critical. You're just being defensive of, like, I can do it because they did it and you do it and everyone does it and it's not a big deal if I do it. And it's making me fucking impatient because I want to get to the stuff. I have like a timeline. I'm like ready to go, dude. I'm ready for you to lay out your case. Let's see the hypocrisy, the lying, the harassment, the doxing, the selling crypto scams, the making and showing of revenge porn. I mean, I guess we have to include like abuse, not just harassment, like straight up abuse. But I don't know any of the details. Like, you know, this is just what's being alleged. And right now, Ryan is too self-conscious to just get into it. Dude, such a small fraction of the people who are going to watch this are the type who are going to be like, but isn't he on a bandwagon? Ha, I shall criticize him. Like, it's just a fucking bullshit excuse that people say when they feel like parading for defending their little guy. They're going to come after anybody and be like, you're a clout chaser, you're just bandwagoning. They say that to everybody. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, man. Let me first get ahead of the most ridiculous, like, nothing argument that a couple airheads are gonna launch at me. I'm not against getting ahead of counter arguments. And maybe this is the best counter argument that he believes there is against his case. But this is boring. You're boring us. If it was good up until it was really good, and then you're like, hold on. Don't get mad at me for doing this content, Nuke, guys. It's not my fault. So I would say, I don't know, we're going to...
This is just how the internet is. So yes, I waited to make this video until you were in a possibly career-ending controversy because I knew that this would make more people listen to my criticism against you. Do you have a problem with that? You know how the internet works, Destiny. You jump onto bandwagons of criticizing people who are in controversies all the time. But now that the shoe's on the other foot, you're mad about it.
Okay. So, clarifying my last statement, if you're going to take this and swing it around into a hypocrisy, then I'm here for it. And maybe it did need all that build up to get into this. I don't know. I think we could have maybe chopped a minute out of that.
All the time. But now that the shoe's on the other foot, you're mad about it.
All the other shit from all the other vultures and all the other communities that are like coming in trying to like make drama out of this, that don't give a fuck about any victims or any people involved, which is the majority of people. Don't give a fuck about any of that. I don't care about that.
Another accusation that
the vultures, the majority of people, I don't know who he's talking about.
Destiny's fans like to throw at people who criticize him is that they're just doing it for money. Oh, you mean like how Destiny has made money from covering other people's controversies for years? What a dog shit argument. Yes, I'm gonna make money from this video because this is my job, just like Destiny makes money from criticizing other people because that's his job. But this video isn't just about making money for me. I genuinely care about raising awareness for the shitty stuff that Destiny has done. If you're gonna write a manifesto about Keffals and say that she needs to be held responsible for her actions,
a demonstration of what happens when communities fail to hold their own members responsible.
I'm gonna do the same thing to you, motherfucker. Now let's focus in on this part of the tweet. You're still upset that I bullied you off the internet a year ago. You know what, Destiny? You are not totally wrong. Being bullied off the internet didn't feel particularly good because people don't tend to...
Wait, he was bullied off the internet? He's tweeting at Ryan Beard, you're hopping into a bandwagon of people that accuse me of raping. You're still upset that I bullied you off the internet a year ago. I don't know why this slipped past me the last time he showed this tweet. So when was that? A year ago, 2023. So 2022, Ryan Beard got bullied off the internet? Ooh, interesting. So this is personal. I'm excited to hear about this. I hope he goes into that.
You're still upset that I bullied you off the internet a year ago. You know what, Destiny? You are not totally wrong. Being bullied off the internet didn't feel particularly good because people don't tend to enjoy being bullied. Destiny and his community definitely have bullied me over the years, but I don't.
You literally brought up an event of mine from 15 years ago completely out of nowhere. Your blood probably tastes like syrup. When people told you kiss your KYS? Oh, kill. Okay. It's to, off yourself. They didn't mean with Twinkies. Your blood probably tastes like... Okay, so this is a fat joke? The dude is... His comedy is so shit. It's just like... That's dog shit, Destiny. And that's... Okay, 15 years ago. You literally brought up an event of mine from 15 years ago completely out of nowhere. Okay, Destiny. Is that something that only really fat people do?
But I don't really.
What's the big sin of bringing up something you did 15 years ago? What? How is that at all? Like, if you're gonna be like, fuck you for blank, I think you gotta think of something worse than, fuck you for talking about something I did 15 years ago. What is it about 15 years ago that talking about stuff from then means you're a fucking dickhead for doing that? What was he up to 15 years ago? 15 years ago, that would be what? 2010, 2005. What is this dude been up to some bullshit for decades?
Care to relitigate my personal beef with Destiny. Destiny and his community weren't very nice to the suit-wearing fatty. Who gives a fuck? But Destiny...
I give a fuck. I want to find out what happened.
You don't get to criticize Keffals for being a bully,
Internet bullying,
and then turn around and take pride in the fact that you're a bully. That is called hypocrisy. The fact that Destiny and his community have bullied me in the past probably is a factor in why I chose to make this video. And I would argue that the treatment that Destiny received from creators like Vosh and Keffals is one of the reasons he made manifestos against them. As much as I might want to, I am a human being and I can't fully separate myself from my own personal biases. And the fact that I have been bullied by Destiny and his community in the past does probably make me somewhat biased against them. If you feel like my personal bias against Destiny means that I'm not the right person to make this video, I respect that opinion and I encourage you to go watch a different YouTube video. But in this video, I'm going to try my absolute best to be as unbiased as possible and stick to the facts as much as possible. I am going to try my best to not view Destiny in bad faith because I think even if you view him in good faith, he's still a piece of shit. I do feel like one of Destiny's tactics from across the years is to be incredibly mean to anyone he has a conflict with. So when that person eventually decides to make a video criticizing him, he can just write that person off as obsessive and just mad because he bullied them.
As a supporter of yours, I would appreciate if you could address some of the points made in the Britney video. She seemed to be pretty fair, especially in her conclusions. I don't have time to address every deranged, obsessive video that's made about me. I still haven't watched a Britney video.
Just add this tactic to the long list of tactics that Destiny and his community use to
video. As a supporter of yours, I'd appreciate if you address some of the points made in the Britney video. She seemed to be pretty fair, especially in her conclusions. I don't have time to address every deranged...
I mean, how much more of a dickhead could you be? I would appreciate if you would address some of the fair points that were made. I don't have time to address every deranged... Like, if I told you in good faith as a fan... probably writing a super chat, giving you money to tell you this. Someone made some very fair points. And then he immediately says, well, I don't have time to listen to deranged points. I mean, you could at least have like a modicum of respect for the person you're talking to and say something like, I don't have time to listen to fair points, which is the thing you said.
That's the video that's made about me. I still haven't watched a Whitney video.
Just add this tactic to the long list of tactics that Destiny and his community use to deflect criticism from themselves. The last criticism that Destiny and his community might make against this video is that I'm bringing up a bunch of old news that Destiny has already addressed. While that might be the case for some of the things I talk about in this video is not being made for Destiny's community. I'm making this video for the broader internet, and the majority of the broader internet doesn't know about all of these past controversies that you might consider old news. Contrary to what you guys might believe, the entire world does not orbit around Destiny. If Destiny is going to be interviewing potential presidential candidates like Marianne Williamson, then I think the broader political community deserves to know about Destiny's past actions. Destiny has said before that he has nothing to hide, and people can't expose him for anything that he's done in the past because he's open about everything he's done in his life. When someone else was trying to expose Destiny for his bad behavior, he sent these messages to his chat. So if he wants to expose me, that's fine. Let him expose. But he needs to post receipts instead of just vaguely alluding to shit. There's literally nothing anyone could have on me for anything because I don't do anything bad/weird. I am the cleanest motherfucker in this entire scene. The worst anyone could ever have on me is fucking dick pics or something. He can talk about whatever he wants, but he should provide proof, not just baseless accusations/speculation. Alright, Destiny. In this video, I will provide plenty of proof and receipts to back up everything that I accuse you of. If what you said in these messages is true, then you should have absolutely no issue with me lying out everything that you've done over the years on the table. Are we on the same page? Great. Honestly, I feel like the fact that I feel the need to lay out all these preambles and pretext and shoot down possible criticisms before they make them should show you that Destiny's community have become masters at deflecting criticism against them. You can call these motherfuckers Bert from Mary Poppins in the way that they're masters at sweeping. The joke here is that Bert from Mary Poppins is a chimney sweep. It's a funny joke, okay? Fuck off.
All right. I mean, I think I might agree that whole preamble part is it is effective in this because it is kind of helping tying together the whole argument of the orbiters and his community, seeing kind of what he's fostered together, right? Oh boy, I don't know if I can get through this. This is going to take a while to get through. This definitely is going to be a multiple day stream. Today I don't know how long I can go. But let's see if we can at least get to a stopping point. We have, okay, he actually did include some sections, right? So we have harassing women, part 1, harming children, harming women, part 2. Okay, so it's women and children. We're at 14:57. The intro goes for another 2 to 3-ish minutes. I bet we could finish the intro. Let's go.
You should have absolutely no issue with me lying out everything that you've done over the years on the table. Are we on the same page? Great. Honestly, I feel like the fact that I feel the need to lay out all these preambles and pretext and shoot down possible criticisms before they make them should show you that Destiny's community have become masters at deflecting criticism against them. You can call these motherfuckers Bert from Mary Poppins in the way that they're masters at sweeping. The joke here is that Bert from Mary Poppins is a chimney sweep. It's a funny joke, okay? Fuck off. My goal in this video is not to push some sort of political agenda against Destiny. I actually think he is a very smart dude who's one of the best debaters on the internet and one of the best people at using logic to defend liberal values. I debated Destiny a couple times a few years ago, and he definitely wiped the floor with me, especially in our second debate. I have no shame in admitting that.
What were they debating? They had a debate? Destiny pauses after subhuman debate gets serious. Finish that sentence. I'm very curious to watch that. Let's keep a list of things to watch later. I'm just going to make a layer. Actually, I'll make a group. Because instead of just one layer, I want to actually put a background on it. And I'm going to try... I'm going to say... debate... V Beard. He says that Destiny wiped the floor with him. And he called it a subhuman debate. Oh, Lord. I think Destiny would be arguing it is perfectly fine to classify some people as subhumans and others as normal size humans or normal important humans. And Ryan Beard is saying, no, all people are not, no people are subhumans. That would be my guess. Just knowing the kind of guys they seem to be portraying right now. And when he says he lost the debate, does that mean like he conceded the point? Does that just mean he failed to argue his point well? I don't know. I'm curious to watch that debate and find out if Beard was really swept away. What was the debate about? We don't have time to do this. I mean, if we can get through this decently quick. This might be an interesting thing to watch. Or maybe tomorrow we could pause this video and go to this video and watch that kind of in the middle. Might work.
In debate, I have no shame in admitting that Destiny is definitely a better debater than I am. Even if I disagree with a lot of his opinions because I'm a leftist, I can still recognize that he's done a great job dunking on a bunch of dumbass conservatives. But like Destiny said in his manifesto against Keffels, I don't think we should be afraid to hold members of our own community accountable.
Demonstration of what happens when communities fail to hold their own members responsible.
And Destiny has done a lot of fucked up shit that I think he needs to be held accountable for. Just because he's a good debater who's really good at defending the liberal ideology, I don't think that means that we should sweep his bad behavior under the rug.
And I don't understand.
I don't appreciate him defending the liberal ideology at all. I don't think you need a but in that sentence. His politics are fucking garbage, dude. He's got the absolute worst fucking politics. He's fucking pro-genocide. What do you mean you appreciate him spreading liberal values? Ugh. Not a great argument. I mean, it's fine to point that out about him, but why are you lauding him and appreciating him for that bullshit?
He needs to be held accountable for. Just because he's a good debater who's really good at defending the liberal ideology, I don't think that means that we should sweep his bad behavior under the rug.
The liberal ideology.
And I don't understand how Steven can really say that he wants to be a serious political advocate if he doesn't want to manage his personal life in any way that's serious. Like, why should the DNC involve you in anything that they want when your personal life looks like a fucking train wreck that's going to be bad PR for all of them? Why should anyone want to spend time debating you on these bigger platforms if all you're going to do is bring fucking tarnishing their reputation, right? It's like, if you're serious about this, you should make this sacrifice. And if you can't, then I don't think you really care about the political positions that you claim to care about.
My goal in this video is to simply lay out all of his actions from across the years that I consider harmful and allow you to come to your own conclusions. All right? Let's get into it. In this video, I hope to establish a pattern of how Destiny, over the course of his career, has repeatedly taken advantage of and harmed women and occasionally children, and how he has advocated for a world that makes it easier for people like him to harm women and children. We'll start by going through Destiny's harmful behavior towards women, then we'll take a detour to his harmful behavior towards children, and then we'll loop back around to his harmful behavior towards women again. Sound good? Well, it's not going to be. Around the end of 2011, Destiny...
All right. I like that this is well organized. From the intro, he's giving me a good kind of roadmap. So we do have all these kind of points, but what we can sort of, I don't know, maybe put these all under the umbrella of his true main thesis, the skeleton of this whole nuke, is that he harms women and children. What about men? I don't know. I suspect he does harm men. I also suspect that many of the men he harms are right-wingers, such as how he allegedly had sex with Nick Fuentes and Laura Southern and doing stuff like that. Well, when I say Laura Southern is not a man, but when he, like, is with right-wingers and stuff, it's almost in that way of, like, haha, they won't believe you, because in his community, they're not going to care about a victim, quote-unquote victim, like Nick Fuentes, because he's, you know, he's hated in this community, right? In his orbit, these are the undesirables, right? So those often make attractive targets for predators, social outcasts, right? Even though Fuentes is like a disgusting, like, basically like pro-patriarchy, he kind of more represents the mainstream in a way, in many ways, but in other ways, in the Destiny orbit, he's a low status, right? Right wingers would be like low status people, and then it's easier to kind of get away with or get a pass for victimizing. Like, if he's showing revenge porn, his fans wouldn't care as long as it's hurting someone that they hate, right? And his, like, supposedly left-wing fan, they're definitely going to hate right-wingers. And, hey, I hate them too, okay? I'm not saying I don't also hate these guys. But I don't do shit to them. I don't befriend them and then like pressure them into sex and then like threaten them with like revealing it to their shame, because it's like I don't care if these get leaked. I'm open with everything I do. So why should I care if it gets shared? And they're like, no, please don't. So now he's got the power, right? It's his whole like defense of like, how could I be doing anything bad? I literally tell everyone what I do. Like, kind of. You tell people like a lot of stuff probably. You probably do overshare a bit, but I think that's cover for even the more oversharing. You know? It's like, you know how sometimes people will lie about something bad they're doing by like making up a less bad thing just so they can kind of like, you know, sort of talk honestly about the fact that they were bad or that they lied or doing something, but you're not really fessing up to what you really did. You're like, I'm sorry. I couldn't. Fine, you got me. I'll come forward and admit that I was wrong to ever trust this lying bitch. I should have walked away the moment I met you. And that's my fault, and I'm sorry about that. I take full responsibility for ever trusting your lying ass. It's a little bit like that. Like you're fessing up to something as if it's your fault, but it's not what you did. He harms women. He harms children. If so, he's a fucking pest. Pest worse than the rest. What do we do with pests? You should have a job like, I don't know, something where you're kind of like just kept busy away from people, you know? Like, there's a lot of like warehousey cataloging jobs, you know, spreadsheet stuff, data management, data entering. Like, it would be fine to just be like, hey, why don't you just take this job and do that instead of being someone who like talks to other people ever. That would be a really cool thing. And like, what if they gave him a raise? They're like, we'll pay him more than you're making streaming, but we just want you to, you just need to go through all these boxes and you know, check off on the list which ones are there and how many of them of each ones are. And then you could take your 15-minute break. And then at 12:30, you'll get a half an hour for lunch. Just go past the desk and talk to Carol. She'll clock you out for lunch and then clock you back in on your way back in. We recommend you bring your lunch, but if you don't have anything, there are some snack machines. Or there's an Orange Julius around the corner, and they got like sandwiches and things, but they're a little bit overpriced. So I always bring my own lunch. But anyway, Destiny, here's the no, there's no uniform. You don't got to wear the uniform. We just want you to make sure you're wearing closed-toed shoes. All right, and no long sleeves. Nothing with buttons because we got machinery around here, so we don't want anything that's going to get caught in those machines. But other than that, you're fine in your jeans and your t-shirt. Just dress casual. You're fine. All right, Destiny. Can I call you Steven, or would you prefer Destiny? Oh, please call me Destiny. Okay, yeah. So anyway, let me know if you have any questions. And if a customer comes in here or anything, just come get me and I'll deal with them. Okay. You don't have to talk to any of the customers or anything. Okay. You're just for the back room. All right. All right. That's where we could put the Predator. Or maybe jail? I mean, it sounds like he might have done some actual criminal worthy stuff. And I think revenge porn, depending on the state, could include jail time. So he might be doing all that shit except not getting paid anything for it. Or getting like $10 a week or something. Huh. All right. I'm tired. I've been doing this kind of bullshit 2-3 nights in a row. This is night 4. So we're going to take it easy. I want to be able to put my full attention on this nuke. But, I mean, this does not look good for Destiny. Ryan Beard's doing a pretty good job so far. I had a few little criticisms of the length, the pacing, and what little things to include in the video. I didn't think he needed to apologize or intercept really dog shit arguments that Destiny stands are just going to put in the comments anyway that nobody cares about. But he did manage to turn it back around to Destiny and show us how much that guy uses those dog shit arguments and how dog shit they are. So that's good. And maybe that's even better because, yeah, it's better to explain more to the people who maybe haven't heard it yet. And, you know, maybe there's people who like Destiny, but they're not quite good enough at being, like, true stans, and they're not sure if they want to be yet. This could dissuade them from jumping on the Destiny bandwagon. All right, let's call it a night. We'll come back for part 2 of Content Nuke. Is it bullshit? We will find out. Till next time, bye.